read any guidebooks or take any courses about walking in the mountains, and they'll all recommend carrying a first aid kit, which I fully agree with, but they really have the amount, even the smallest kit has the amount of bandages that you could be mauled by a tiger and still have some spare. What I'd suggest is cutting down on the bandages and add all the other stuff which can turn your walk or your camping trip into a nightmare. The only emergency isn't just getting cuts and grazes. It can be problems with your guy lines or any number of things. So this is what I recommend. So this is my converted first aid kit. I would call it an emergency kit. Basically, it's not much just cuts and grazes that can spoil your hike into the hills or your camping in the mountains. All sorts of things can go wrong to spoil your trip, and so these are a few things that can help you in various situations. The first thing I'd carry is some paracord. A million uses for paracord. The last time it helped me, my exhaust fell off and I managed to tie the exhaust back onto my car with this, and it got me home. Tweezers, I think, are vital. If you get a wooden splinter in your finger, or there's a thorn lodged in your dog's paw, these can get rid of that irritation. If you're going mountain biking, I'd strongly recommend carrying a toolkit, a Leatherman or equivalent. I don't know whether you'd need this really, just on a hiking trip, but a useful bit of kit to carry, although it does weigh a fair amount. Ties are very useful for, again, hundreds of different reasons, and they weigh absolutely nothing, so I'd always pack those. And then a bug net. The midges can be absolutely terrible in the summer, especially up in Scotland, so I'd always carry a bug net because they can make your life hell. So I carry that in the summer, and in winter I carry a thermal blanket. And then you need something for ticks. If your dog gets a tick, you need to remove it without leaving the head in place. So you need something like this to remove the tick safely. Moving into this area, TCP. This is a liquid antiseptic. I just think a liquid antiseptic is far nicer than trying to rub cream into a graze or a cut, and a bit more effective too. Then we have the infamous Vaseline, which is so useful to carry. You can use it for when you've got chafing on your armpits and legs, nipples. It can also be used as a brilliant firelighter. You just dip a wadding into this or a toilet roll, and it makes an excellent firelighter. It can also be used for minor burns to help protect the burn area. So I'd always carry Vaseline. Additional guy rope. So if something goes wrong with your tent, you can fix it. But also, if you wanted to make a clothesline to dry your clothes, you could use it for that. Again, string, 101 million different uses. And you'll also need to carry a backup battery. This is a Olight, weighs nothing, lasts for many, many hours. If your battery or if your light fails during the night, you definitely need to have a backup light. This is tea tree oil. So this is quite effective. You don't use it the full concentrate. You dilute it with water and it can be used as an insect repellent, and it also soothes insect bites that you do have. And in addition, I've got some Gorilla Tape wrapped around the bottle. Gorilla Tape again is really, really useful. So if you get a tear or a hole in your tent, you can repair it, amongst many other things. Backup lighter, needn't say why you need this. Sterile gloves. Important if you're dealing with a wound and you want to keep the environment sterile. Also important if you're dealing with somebody else's wounds. Here we've got a form of, well, it's a painkiller, ibuprofen. If you've got blisters or whatever, or a headache, ibuprofen is good for you. On a recent trip, these are antihistamine tablets. On a recent trip I got bitten by horseflies and that caused a reaction. My hands started blowing up. It was very uncomfortable. Outdoors carry antihistamines. Then we get into the bandages area. Rather than regular bandages, I prefer these because you can cut them to size to suit your requirements. Especially good for blisters and minor cuts and injuries. If you have a major graze, you've slid down some rocks and you've grazed your thigh, a larger bandage will be very, very useful for treating that. And then finally, this roll of bandages, 4.5 meters. This is for more awkward areas to bandage up, such as head wounds. So I'm cutting down your bandages to, I think you've got all bases covered with that. If you thought that was useful, please give a thumbs up and click the notification button to keep updated with the latest videos.